Good morning, YouTube. We are on day 7, September 19th, 2022, on the rebuild and restart and reinstall of the 2000 Trade Winds diesel pusher motorhome Onan 7500 quiet diesel generator. Was an uneventful weekend. Today's Monday morning, and we're back at it. I think it's about 9:30 in the morning. I believe I'm going to remove the radiator and flush the system, put in a new thermostat, and possibly a new water sensor, heat sensor. I'm hopeful that the water pump has not gone bad. But I also purchased a new battery. See how that works out. 12 volt deep cycle maintenance free battery. Even though it's brand new, I had it on the charger to top it off. So I want to make sure that I cover everything before I start dismantling the system again. Something I really don't want to do, but I do have to make sure that it is running 100% efficiently prior to reinstalling it in the motorhome, because I don't want to take it out again, at least for the next 10 or 20 years. Maybe I'll go 5 or 6 years, but I don't want to have to take it out again. That would not be the ideal situation. Luckily, it's not that blazing summer heat. There's a nice cool breeze. Good working day. Good day to get out and get things done. Dropped my daughter off to school this morning, and I'm hoping she has a great day. And I'm going to tighten these bolts down so I have good connection. Excuse me. Okay. Now, there is one thing I've observed, and that is there's no leaks. I'm not seeing any antifreeze leaking. I filled the reservoir Friday, the last time I was here, and it seems to be Okay, no leaks there. As you can see, no leaks underneath. I'm gonna have to switch the camera around. See no leaks under the bottom here. So let's give it a, oh, let me dry my hands off. I have antifreeze. I want to put that antifreeze in my mouth or in my eye. So here we go. There's a pre-start. That's 3. So it's 33. So there's something going on with there's something going on with the cooling system. So I believe what I'm going to do is drain it out. That temperature sensor, I'll take that off and see what the problem might be. So I'm going to disconnect the battery. Get no juice in there. When I disconnected the radiator, there was a lot of, it looked like some type of gel. It may have been that someone prior to my ownership put in some of that radiator stop leak. So I'm going to drain the antifreeze out and take the cap off. Or at least loosen it up so air can get in. And the fluids will flow into this bucket I have here. Oh boy, I really don't want to do this. But I may have no choice. And it might be the best thing to just go ahead and do it now while the weather's warm, instead of having to worry about it in the cold, cold winter months here in New Jersey, because it does get cold. So I'll put this cap back on. The antifreeze looks good. Well, of course, this is the new antifreeze that I just put in the other day. So let me turn the camera around where I'm taking this from. The drain valve. Putting that back on there. Now I'll turn it back around. And I guess I'll have to commence taking it apart again. This I'll set inside so that it doesn't get messed up. Luckily, it's only held on by one screw here. And I can pick this up and let's see. Try and lift this out. Luckily, I didn't screw the rest of it in. So if I can I'm sorry about the jiggling of the camera. I'm trying to do this with one. Put this side back on the steps. Okay. The other good thing about this is since it wasn't totally put back together, it's not as hard getting it out. So I need my T30. I normally keep everything on my tool belt, but I have misplaced it. This is a I think this is a T27. I need the T30, which is right here. Yep, that is it. So going to I need to take the clamp off. So I can take it loose. There is some joy in this, being that I do enjoy working on various projects, this being one of them. So it works out well. And if you don't mind getting a little greasy, little grease never killed anybody. when you own an RV, you have to be willing to do a lot of the work yourself. I mean, unless you have deep pockets. And even when you have deep pockets, you don't want to just frivolously throw your money away. The Bible says that we ought to be good stewards. So I endeavor to be that, a good steward of what He has allowed me to be steward over. Although if I had maybe 2 more hands, that would be great. You know, something about us people is we're not happy with what we have, always complaining. Always complaining. If I had 2 hands, I could do this. Maybe if I had 4 hands, I could do even more. So, here we are. I don't know if you want to see this tear down again, but I'm trying to do as much as I can. So if anyone has to do this, I am hopeful that my videos will help you out somewhat. I do know that I have been attempting to find various videos on the Vectra Grand Tour, and I haven't been very successful. So, trying to document as much as I can, and hopefully this will be a blessing to someone else who is going through the same hassle. I did look up online. There's a place in, I forget where it is. It's called Vizone, and they have this generator used for over $6,000. Now, if you have $6,000 and you don't want to spend the money or the time repairing it yourself, there is a place where you can buy one for a modest fee. I was not willing to spend that $6,000. I did see one on eBay for $12,000. I was not willing to spend $12,000, especially for something that I could pretty much do myself. It may take a little time. I'm thinking what I should have done was rented a truck and taken the generator to the house, put it in the garage. That way I could work on it anytime. But I did not do that, so I am here doing it myself. And I could have done it if I didn't have other obligations, my church obligations, the obligations to my children, especially my 8-year-old, getting her to school and various activities and family matters, birthdays, attending funerals. So I do have other obligations which did not allow me to work on this 100%, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I'm trying to get this off here. There's always a stubborn hose that doesn't want to detach. But you have to put a little muscle behind it. And there we have it. Although I must say the radiator doesn't look bad. I'm going to take it home. I don't know if you can see that. The sun. I don't know if I'm in the sun or not. I'm going to take it home. I might take it and have it pressurized. There it is. I believe this was replaced. I'm going to take a picture of this. I believe this was replaced sometime before, but I'm not 100% because I am not the original owner. So all of this would be guesswork. I do want to, I think I'm going to take out that sensor as well. I'm going to take off the top and see if there's anything wrong with the thermostat. I may replace that as well since I'm doing it. I'm trying not to replace the water pump. That is not my desire. Hold on, I need both hands for this one. I've loosened these bolts up on the thermostat housing. And it's possible that the thermostat is closed. It wasn't letting the water circulate, the antifreeze circulate. That I'm not sure. This is I think it's a 10 millimeter. No water anywhere. No fluid. That Kubota engine sure works well. They say that it's bulletproof just about. And I'm inclined to agree. And I'm not far from the municipal airport, Atlantic City International. Looks okay. But I would have thought there would have been more water in there. So I think that's what I'm going to do is put in new stuff. Put those two there. This there. That's going to go with me. And I think I'm going to take out that temperature sensor. Why not? If you're going to do it, do it. You know, it's funny. I was talking to my fiance, and I don't think she understands the concept that once you've spent close to $3,000 on parts, you don't just simply say, oh, well, that didn't work, so I'm just going to quit on the whole project. So I was explaining the other night that, you know, if I have to put a little more money into it, that's what it is. And of course, she was like, well, I don't see why you're going to keep putting money into it. But the funny thing is, when they want to travel, it's, oh, let's take the RV. You know? I said, but it has to be maintained just like anything else. But that seems to escape some people. Take this wire off. Trying not to, hold on, put something here so that nothing falls down in there. That would be a disaster. Okay, these two tiny screws off. Now I'm going to, let's see, I think that's a 3/4 inch nut. I believe it is. Let's see. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. She doesn't want to come out. Let's see here if I can get it to. There we go. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to put a little elbow grease on it in order to get these parts that have been sitting in here for years. To get them to break loose. I have to be careful because I don't want it to fall off of the stands I have it on either. That would not be good, especially if it fell on me. And I pretty much love doing this type of stuff. Former diesel mechanic for a company called Leisure Line. Then I went on over to what used to be Greyhound before the companies became Greyhound Trailways. I was there during the strike and all. The union never paid us either. Come to think of it. So here we have it. Okay. So I have everything apart that I want to replace. Put this back together. I'm hoping that that radiator is okay. And unfortunately, where I am, I don't have a pressurized water hose or anything where I can flush out that system. So the best I can do is with the taking the parts home, cleaning them out. Put those three there. I'm going to put those in a bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this up, see if I can find some parts. Put this over here so nothing falls in. Keep that like that. Beginning to call this my my child here. And I spend almost as much time with it as I do with my children. And I enjoy all of them immensely. I'm always amazed at how some people have children and want nothing to do with them. But I guess that's some people. Put the screws back where I can so that they're there when I need them. You ever notice when you take something apart and you put it back together, you always have extra parts? I'm gonna put that top back on there. So I try not to have or minimize the extra parts when I'm working on something. You don't put, well, for some reason you have extra screws that you didn't have when you started. I always found that funny. It happens to me too. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. not on generators, but mechanical work like this. I've been doing it a long time. I'm only about 5'4", and if you're familiar with buses, those tires are very large and heavy, and people used to get a kick out of watching me change a tire when I was with Greyhound, and especially when I was with Leisure Line, because Leisure Line had double deckers, so that meant you would have to get that thing rolled up on a block, then get your tire lift that out and lift your tire up, and I'd be out there, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, getting those tires on. And then if I had to drive the bus, people seemed to be astounded that I was able to drive such a large vehicle. I used to enjoy watching people's faces when they saw me get put this top back on, when they would see me get in the bus, start it up and take off. Do I want to take that battery with me? I don't want anybody to steal it, that's for sure. So I may do just that. Put it back in the car. I'll just take it with me. You know, a job can be so much easier when you have the right tools. It's nothing like trying to do something you don't have the right tools. It takes longer. It's aggravating. So, you want to have your right tools, ladies and gentlemen, to get the job done. You know, and today, tools are not that expensive. And take care of your tools. I'm going to put my T30 on here too, and I use that a lot. Oh, it won't stay. Oh well. Oh. So, keep it right where I know where it is. Just right there. Put these in here. I had a toolbox in my younger days. I had everything in it that I had. If you remember when we had our first fuel crisis, I believe it was Oldsmobile came out with their diesel engine. They converted a gasoline engine to a diesel engine, and it was always blowing head gaskets. So I had a toolbox that if I was on the road somewhere and it blew a head gasket, and I carried an extra head gasket set that I could repair. I could take the top of the engine apart, put on a new head gasket, torque the head bolts back down, and be on my merry way within, I want to say, 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so now that is going to conclude the radiator cleaning and all for right now. I'm going to see if I can go get the parts, and then I shall return.